PUBG Europe League. It's The Sims and a Demon going to be taking you away with all the action.
It's true, there is just one of me. 43 matches in the books. Well, 42 technically, and the 43rd will go. And that's a pretty harsh plane over Sosnovka towards the south side of Georgia Pol. That's going to cause a lot of problems. Even long drop in Rozhok is going to be a problem for Vitality. And we're going to be looking towards the teams like ENCE are going to have to make an adjustment here. Obviously, their normal drop is not on the cards. NAP, they're going back home. They're welcome to South George all over again.
Yeah, I like how we touched on ENCE. Oh, wait, they've gone melee.
They're going melee.
Interesting.
As of Red Diamonds?
FaZe and TSM, they'll be able to get on home soil. That's not a problem. Uber's clearly having a look at what goes on. Maybe he grabs a boat. Maybe FaZe even goes to Novo.
Yeah.
There is an option for it. TSM are too late to do that.
They're all dropping Crossroads. They all want cars from Crossroads, look.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Two inside, one inside melee. Mikas is in there to be able to read the information. Clearly he's going to...
Digital Athletics down south with Raise Your Edge as well. What in the world? This is a big change. I think Rozhok was doable.
I'm expecting TSM to pan on that vehicle
The
and get the hell,
Knights.
just literally getting completely off of weight Vitality.
The Knights are going to tempo. No, Knights are going tempo along with CrowCrowd. This has mixed everything up. TSM have managed to find the vehicle. They are all four inside that one vehicle. It forces FaZe into Novo. TSM will go melee.
No. It's not far. It's not far.
Well, I tell you what, teams that have adjusted to this, we'll see how it works out for them. Obviously, with the Knights over here, Digital Athletics all over here, that is going to be skin looting on that side of the circle at the moment. The West is barren at best, and it's not built for, what, 5 teams in this same area?
I mean, that's the forgiving thing, right? We've literally, the circle has planted over where the playing path was. You touched on ENCE. At the moment, and I think it's such a stat line, you have to touch on it. The lowest position that they've got throughout this entirety of the competition, in 3 weeks so far, is 13th place, and they've only had 3 of them, which is absolutely unbelievable.
It's incredible.
When you look at some of the teams that have been bombing out in 16th place, multiple 16th place, I'll have you know, 13th place is insane. It might not sound good, but to say that that's your lowest position, and I think they're 28 points clear at the top, which is, you know, when you think about it, even TSM didn't get that in their 21-kill game.
It's incredible. I mean, when you think most teams get...
They could go out now and still be first.
Most teams get an average of, what, 25 to 30 points per day. And to be 28 points clear, and that's... And we were talking about, obviously, the gap at the start of the day. You know, from 4th down to, what, 9th, 10th was 20 points. They're that far ahead. They are absolutely light as head. And it's a measure of the consistency that ENCE have shown. The boys have done so well. Been top 4, I think, both times today as well.
What do you think makes them stand out from the rest of the pack?
I don't really know. I mean, I guess they have the frag potential, but they're just... It's hard to put a finger on it, right? Because they kind of... I wouldn't say came out of nowhere, because they've always been there or thereabouts, but I don't know what, something in that team has clicked. Obviously, you've got the positivity that you have from the likes of Squeaky that's always in there. They're always a happy team, no matter whether they're doing good or bad. You know, being Finns, they're a realistic team.
You've also got
Finns
2
tend to be,
of the top fraggers in the top 4. You've got Squeaky, who's on 63 points, and Rustamar is on 58. Between them, 20.2k damage across a league is actually unbelievable. That's insane. 20k between just 2 players. I mean, okay, we're getting quite a lot of them now that are stepping up to that 10k mark, but there's a drop-off when you get past, I think it's about top 10. There's only about 10 players still there. The
thing that gets me most with ENCE is, you know, you can look at the damage stats, and a lot of it will get padded out by grenade kills. If I remember rightly, they're not that high in the grenade kills. It was down to pure fragging power with the guns. I'd have to double check on that, because obviously when I was looking at the grenade stats, I was kind of focused on the fact that NIP, who are on your screens right here in South George, back in their home turf, were very high in the grenades kills. They do pick up a lot of their kills from grenades, and obviously, you know, love them, hate them, grenades are a big part of the game at the moment. Rotations are starting to begin, though. Obviously, at the 4.5-minute marks, when people tend to start moving, Winstrike need to be careful that they don't get caught off guard. And speaking of people rotating earlier, look at this. The Knights, who were starting out on that West Coast, they've already regrouped. They've already got together and said, yes, we are going to take this edge of the swamp territory, and it's going to look good for us. Team Liquid making their move. They're coming across in towards the Gatka territory. Winstrike have got to be careful they don't get caught off guard by this one. The Joker's also heading north. Remember, similar circles to this. Team Liquid have gone south of Pachinki, bumped into the Jokers, maybe lost a player or two. Not risking it this time. Looks like they're going straight across.
Just another thing to touch on. I'm just looking at some of the stats here. Like, ENCE, their survivability time, it's not as high as what you'd expect it to be. It's like middle of the pack, stroke going towards the bottom. They're down there. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's only by a few minutes, but it kind of shows you how impactful these players are. When they're not necessarily the last ones standing on the map all the time, it's what they're doing with their time. It's how many kills they're putting down. It's how many knocks they're putting down. It's the placement that they'll script together regardless of how many players are actually on the board. The team is just insane, and it would take an absolute monumental muck-up for them to drop out of that top 4.
Absolutely. They're looking like they're certainly going to be the first team to break 400 points. I'm almost certain of that. And I think they might be doing it sooner rather than later the way they've been playing today. But we'll see how it continues because they are an unknown territory. And a team like Red Diamonds, who they did drop onto Sosnovka with, have set up a camp on that western bridge. So ENCE are going to be forced to try and find some boats and find another way off Sosnovka. You can see the Knights on your screen. They did drop in basically the tempo loot, what it's known as on the west coast. They have set them stall out early. Digital Athletics also pulling in near them. Na'Vi, they're making their way down from North Georgipol. So a rough old time for the boys of Na'Vi, but they did manage to get themselves the top 4 in game number 1. TSM, well, I asked them what happened. Should have flushed in. Is like, I know, they didn't really know what the call is, why they all decided to back away, why they left one standing. I think they thought they'd already dealt the damage and flushed them out, but clearly wasn't the case.
I think they're, when you talk about TSM, they're another team that honestly could muck it up potentially because they're slipping. Slowly but surely, they're slipping. They had this wonderful week number 1. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It was, they still played pretty well, but it's slowly been dropping off. They ended up in 9th after week 2. They're sitting at 9th now.
It's all about Miramar for them, isn't it?
It is, but you can't just rely on it. That's the problem. You've got to be a PUBG
team.
player. You can't just be a Miramar team or an Erangel team. You have to be a PUBG team. Don't get me wrong. You can go away and you can look at that and say, okay, what are our strong points here, and how do we transfer that? There's some long shots, mate. I mean,
you know what?
He's tied them up, fair play.
We haven't talked about Senyu much there, and we'll go back to him in a minute. Okay, we'll keep on talking about TSM.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of looking away and saying, where are your strong points? Why we keep doing so well? I'm sorry, actually, to break off here because FaZe have pushed, actually still hanging around here.
Are they trying to camp ENCE? I think they are.
I mean, do they know they're here? They've clearly got some info, or they tagged him, so they must do.
Yeah, they all dropped at similar times, and as you say, they've managed to catch them. So ENCE were kind of like, well, we know that Westbridge is camped, but now Eastbridge also camped. They're a little late on doing this. This is obviously unknown territory for both these teams. You can see Rustan March just having a peek and backing away. Meanwhile, TSM rotating in. Gustav coming in close to Set there. Going to catch around the side. Set taken very, very low. Has he got the damage left? 22 damage list. All he's got left. You can see Michael's going to go for the push. Comes around. And Set's going to get flushed out.
That was a commitment and a half, and we're talking about maybe they muck it up, but they didn't muck that one up. That is absolutely fantastic work to commit to that. To even have the early shots on, he was at a disadvantage. But Gustav just too strong. Takes his fight, accepts the challenge, wins it out, and all of a sudden TSM, and well and truly in the game with a good foothold in the map.
Both FaZe and ENCE have disengaged down on Sosnovka, so FaZe over the East Bridge, they're going to rotate. Back to normal rotation pass for them, really. And ENCE instead have completely backed away and going... I think they're going to go look for bridges. They're going to, well, they know where the bridge is. They're going to look for a boat, I'm guessing. It's going to shrink in. It's a relatively decent circle, and Digital Athletics will be very happy. TSM, of course, who just fought for that compound. A lot of territory up for grabs. Of course, you've got the whole quarry area, that massive area of trees, etc. around there. So a large area to play for a lot of these teams. Very congested in the north, though.
So we've not had a circle like this just yet. So we've had one at the foothold of the mountain just outside Georgopol, And then we've had one that ends exactly where Raise Your Edge are now, just to the left-hand side. You can see Winstrike on the map. Unfortunately, the fireworks are going off. Timmy's down. He's dead. Jorski knocks over Nuki, so that could be a bit of a problem if they're going to be pulling up to try and hide from this oncoming fire. I think they might be in the distance, so you would suggest that they are safe. The Jokers have a good position here, not quite center of the map, but certainly one that opens up a lot of key transfer points where players will be rotating from and to. Where's FaZe and where will be their point of contact? ENCE is still in the blue. This would be scary in two scenarios. One, Liquid meet FaZe on rotation and a big team bottoms out here early game. Two, if FaZe read this and decide to bridge camp, they'll trap ENCE off and they'll lock them off onto Sosnovka.
Well, they've done the full rope-a-dope, haven't they? I mean, Red Diamonds were holding that camp. Now they're pushing past. Team Liquid, it looks like they're actually going ferry pier and along. I think they're going to go up into the hills and try and go to one of the compounds there. They're just going to scout it out slowly. Vitality, you can just see there. Here comes ENCE. They're coming over the bridge. They're actually going to beat FaZe to it. FaZe pulling up in the yellows to the right-hand side. Off to the western side. ENCE look like they're going to go down and make sure it's safe and just cover the beaches and really just play it safe right now. There's no reason to go looking for the fights. They are in a very safe position and they can play it that way. The Knights have found CrowCrowd pulling up on them, and this is not going to go well for them.
I'd honestly turn and run. I don't know why you're driving past them still. There is a man on the left-hand side. He has to be careful. Wanted actually hits him from distance, which gives Reals the alert and time to move, get back inside and run for cover. It looks like CrowCrowd committed to this, and I am very, very surprised because they are broken. They are completely split up.
Oh, and look, NIP
this will be a terrible push.
NIP are pushing in behind them as well. So Vard and Miraku going looking for this. They want to get involved in this. Yeah, Vard is coming right up behind CrowCrowd. You can see it on the minimap right now. Manchester Alf players, they're going to just hold this ledge for a long time. And Vard is going to get himself some free frags from behind if he comes out of that swamp and finds...
Third partying. Delicious. The NIP way. Turn up, unannounced.
There we go.
And some free points for you if you manage to land your shots.
Yeah, Vard sees them quite easily. Doesn't overextend, though, for it, so he's not too worried. Just going to play it cautiously, but of course the calls come out. Miraku's holding a cross angle as well, so...
this is wide.
I don't really know how CrowCrowd are going to get out of this one.
It's going to be a really wide peak from Vard, but SLR in the back pocket. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Miraku lands it.
Tagging him up. Wait, he's hit...
He got dream for you in the house, yeah.
Okay, so they're holding him at gunpoint from two different angles.
Kramer's pushing out. Kramer's like, there's only one guy in here. He's just been knocked. I'm going to steal myself a kill here.
Vard might be able to get a nade up and over here as the engagement does come through. Magister tries to hold the line, but Miraku says no. CrowCrowd are done. They are completely removed from the map.
Yeah, 16th for them. NIP, their senses tingling very well there to pick up 2 points. And look at this. NIP actually held the standard compound. They've been here so many times, after so many times. Navi actually holding the compound they like to go into. But that's a relatively hard shift, honestly, away from the south. Of course, it does pull away from the water, but it causes problems. Look at this south. Team Liquid FaZe, where are they going to go now?
I know it's something small, but with how quickly they removed the rest of CrowCrowd, that disallowed the Knights a point for the man knocked upstairs. They couldn't get the flush on there, so he instantly goes
did they
down.
not? Reals
no,
not get him?
I don't think so, because I saw 3 in the kill feed,
yeah.
so I reckon that were all 3 points going to NIP. So a good commitment from them to completely demolish that. It steals away a point from the Knights, or at least denies them one. Navi, you'll be holding that Harry Potter compound, which gives you so much line of sight in the field, but it is usually a dead field. The only team they have to be aware of if the Knights want to charge in, shields raised and guns edge forward, but Vitality might slow the Knights down. I'm intrigued to see what Vitality do as the rest of the teams go on the hard rotate for Liquid.
That's dangerous.
They've got a lot of business.
That's right
here.
next to G2. That is right next to G2. They're going to be pulling straight through. They've actually jumped out. They've gone into the ditch, and now they're going aggressive. G2 and Team Liquid clashing on the hillside. This is a big points battle between them as Kane gets the spray down there onto Jeems, tosses it out at the nade and tries to confirm the kill. Jeems will go down. Samty now in trouble. You can see the blue tracer of the nades backing forward, trying to catch anybody out. Samty will catch Kane down, so that's a 1-for-1 as Udir tosses one straight back in. It goes a little too far, will clip the sides as Ibi catches one of his own.
Both of these fights are actually committed and confirmed. Kane will go down, so the refrags there at least. Samty's lobbing his nades back. They do have the smokes. They can commit some utility here, but you know what? G2, they say, okay, well, we've got nades of his own. G2 are actually going to get an angle on them, so they'll pull back for now, take the edge of the cliff. They do have, I'm seeing minis, I'm seeing SLRs. Unfortunately for them, Samty's on that back line as well. He'll take the ridgeline and may be able to defend this one. They've pushed them back for now and kept them at bay, but how long that will last, I do not know.
ENCE coming out the blue. They did finally find their way through, but they're catching on towards the backside of Vitality, who just mobilized and came in the back as well. So this is ENCE, Vitality, and the Knights all very close to one another.
TSM and Red Diamonds, another team that's very, very close. They've got Liquid on the right-hand side. They've got Digital Athletics on the left if you Red Diamonds. This is, for quite a large circle, a very small proportion of teams all pocketed together. ENCE might go head-to-head with the Knights if they decide to smash into the compound. Vitality are going for the long rotate because there's nowhere else to really go. They know it's heavily, heavily populated. At the moment, it's the North. And the reason it's the North is NIP are so spread out, they can control at least 30% of the map.
Yeah, and it's a position they're used to playing. This is They've come down to South Georgia. It's kind of back in their home turf, and it's worked out so well for them. Vitality, they've just pulled up on the hill, just to the north side of Raise Your Edge, who've got FaZe rotating behind them. So Raise Your Edge and a big sandwich here between two of the old guard.
Oh, they'll be downhill as well, so they won't be able to be seen. Raise Your Edge will have no idea that 4 members of FaZe are about to come up behind them and cause them all kinds of problems.
Yeah, they're here in the vehicle. Cup of Magic's trying to drive away from this one. FastRail's found a nade on Shadow, though. Got himself a little bit too far, and this is all playing out on the southern edge of the circle.
Look at the off angle from Cup of Magic. He took the vehicle, and now he can shoot Vitality from a different place altogether. All this is happening. FaZe are letting it unfold, and they're just waiting, and it's time to strike.
Nasus comes in. FastRail's on a push. Look at the aggression. The nade catches on towards Shadow as he comes around. The second nade has Monkey done and dusted, and now it's down to Nasus and Jazza as they push on through. Voxic gets involved. Pittsburgh Knights from long range stealing away what they can here. There's Raise Your Edge just waiting for the damage. Triffany comes in. What is going on? ENCE got involved as well.
Znax there, level 3'd up. He's got an M249 to play with as well. And now it's time for the FaZe Master to raise the heads. Uber, ETC, they all strike. Mixie comes in. 2 teams fall single-handedly back-to-back. Players all over the place. This is FaZe's time to really mop up some kills. They've got 2 teams that are battered and broken directly in front of them.
Well, third party and didn't really work out so well for ENCE there. They back away from that one, but FaZe clicked themselves 3 kills and Raise Your Edge, who were honestly playing a perfect game against Vitality, just did not check their backs. And I should say, they were down the hill. It was in that off position. They're just completely off guard. ENCE are going to back away from that one, so they're going to move away. Jazza still left alone. He's going to get away, and Cup of Magic finds himself in the middle of nowhere. That little nice off-angle rotation he did has actually backfired on him now because he's in no man's land.
I mean, backfired, or maybe it actually went his way. He survived, and he's the only one left standing of them. If he turns up and behind FaZe, he might be able to scrape a point, just flush a player and cause them problems. But at least for FaZe, this happened in the previous round to them, and now they're getting some sort of revenge. Okay, it was on G2, but being able to third party. And it's all about picking your battles just at the right time. If they'd have gone too early, then they could have turned them and had 2 teams facing their way.
Jazza on absolutely nothing. Is he going to be able to survive this one? Meanwhile, NIP making the push. This is the compound that NIP are used to holding, so they're well aware of this ground. The Knights, however, also coming up the hillside to the south side of this. Nades come raining through. Recrent's going to try and get himself up high and get an angle, but you can see NIP bombing down those nades. The Knights are actually backing away towards ENCE, so they're not going to get involved in this one, but M19 is coming behind NIP.
Miraku went for the off angle to watch that front window with the bars on. He can keep that person at bay from the height advantage. Now it comes down to Gaxi and MBS to post these through the letterbox.
Look at the Wanderer in the back.
Now they know the bottom's clear. They put the nade downstairs. They know that's clear, and it's time to push up on top. And nade's gone in. Batulin's extremely weak. Another one's down as well. This is where they have to push in now to clear out the rest of Navi.
They have to get in fast, though, because M19 are pouring behind NIP at the moment. They've got 2 down on the ground. Drayden, meanwhile, oh, the ENCE have just absolutely ripped the Knights apart. But look at M19 coming behind. Look at all the tracer fire whizzing in from Winstrike. They're trying to get involved along with the Jokers. NIP may well have cost them here. This aggression is, well, it's normally paid off, but again, the third party is so strong, and M19 right on top of them.
Nades could be a flying in a second. Krent knows he has to do what he can to stay alive. M19 will go downstairs and just mop up the remnants of NIP. They come flooding out. He doesn't expect it. Gaxi, Miraku, last 2 standing, make that one. This should be all she wrote for NIP.
Look at them. If you could see the map right now, there's tracer fire coming from Digital Athletics, from Red Diamonds, from the Jokers, from Winstrike, all of them shooting at this one Harry Potter. They are bombing shots across. It is an absolute death zone. The Wanderer trying to do what he can. Gaxi somehow, the last man standing. Can he get the double nade on Navi? No, he's going for Enoch, trying to get over the side. ENCE, meanwhile, they're losing out to Erangel Edge, who got wanted back on his feet. FaZe. Oh, FaZe are going for it. They've bonded to TSM.
Here comes the FaZe push. They've committed to it. Vehicle goes up. Somehow bounces off the back. Runs one of his teammates over, but here comes the execution. They are pushing in. They will get this compound, which is good because now they can get the res and they can stay alive. At the moment, it's just complete menace all over the map. Bodies hitting the floor left, right, and center. Tracer Fire, you've just got to keep an eye on that kill feed because, my word, we are losing players all over the shop.
NAP go down. The Knights go down. Now M19 pushing on Navi. I think Navi goes down. Now FaZe are in all sorts of trouble as they manage to flush out TSM. TSM suddenly find themselves outside the zone and just thinking, what happened? FaZe are going to get 80 back on their feet. They are all 4 alive. For the first time in a long time I can remember, FaZe sent it and it's actually worked.
Cup of Magic managed to stay alive and gets the res. That puts 2 players of Razor Edge in the backlines who just pretty much completely ruined every plan that ENCE had going. It just threw it into the wind, completely tossed it on its head. And now those 2 players can just continue onwards. And there's all these solo individuals alive. They might even be able to push the top 10 here.
Over on the eastern side, Team Liquid and G2 have to go for it. There you go on your screens. Gemty looking for it. Keep your eye on Squeaky. He's the last member of ENCE in that bottom picture-in-picture as well, but I think he's not long to this world. M19 launching it as Team Liquid go for it. Ibby goes down in a blaze of bullets to Chris. Iro, meanwhile, going off on M19. They've just pulled up. Gemty down. Team Liquid down to 1. That's just Samty left alive as Iro looks to finish off M19.
ENCE is done. They're out of the competition. 12 players. Wanted strikes them again. Ira with the lean peak manages to at least clean him up. He'll get the flush as well. Needs to be aware of this one player. The smoke was there and he saw 2 get out of that vehicle. Wanted on the back lines. This might be a time for it not to actually strike. While he's fixated on Wanted, you've got to be careful of this.
He's got to remember the ones nearby. Yeah. He's forgot about
all these individuals that are getting left. And
TSM just lost another. Wookie is the last man standing. He's been flushed out by the Diamonds. The Red Diamonds and TSM, it's starting to become a bit of a story, isn't it, from the last game? Enoch actually going for the final flush onto Wanted there. He just tossed the nade towards Wanted. Team Liquid will go down 11th place for them, and it's G2 that take them down. These teams fighting for points right now. These are big, vital battles.
So once this is done and Wookie's gone, this comes down to where does FaZe go. A lot of people are inside the map now. Jazza's just hiding on the edge for Vitality, last man standing. Same goes here for Wookie and TSM. More than likely he steps up here if he doesn't get the drop onto Bestalok. However, if he does eliminate 1 player of Red Diamonds, this relieves a little bit of pressure from FaZe. They are literally on the edge of the blue and they have to come out the compound. They don't... well...
You're not getting away with that.
Put that one down his throat. Bye-bye, Wookie. But FaZe, they have to come out this compound, then they have to face Red Diamonds head-on. If Digital Athletics get a read on what's going on there, they also might have a line of sight if they decide to come out of the compound.
There's so many solos. Enoch from M19, Wanted from Razor Edge, Jazza from Vitality. Winstrike are actually flanking around a little bit to get involved in this one. Iro just got flushed by Wanted. He went for that aggression. We were talking about Digital Athletics aggression. This time it didn't really work out for them. FaZe making the move. They're trying to get out. FaZe has been knocked, but he's going to get back on his feet as FaZe look to come out. Now, where are they going to go? They've got Red Diamonds on the hillside.
There's some good smoke placements. Look at that. They just built a wall, which denied any line of sight for Red Diamonds, and now they might be able to press the advantage on the left-hand side. All these nades are going to go up. They don't quite know yet. They're a little bit short, but they do have that wall of smoke to work with. 2
more teams down. That's Vitality and Rachel Edge going out, and that's going to put them in towards the top 6. FaZe, look at Mexi. Mexi going for it around the side there. G2 coming up the back side of Red Diamonds as well. You can see Digital Athletics, they've got Jurski in the distance. Winstrike in all sorts of trouble. FaZe Clan, they've lost Mexi. Looks like he's been knocked. He went a little too close and got caught out, and I think Pin might flush him.
G2's the only team that can really save FaZe at the moment if they decide to hit Red Diamonds in the back. But Red Diamonds have a read on them. Both teams, they now have to fight 2 different angles. Sixmo still mopping up all these individual players in the cornfield, just playing border patrol here.
He was trying to run for it, but it's not going to work out. He's gone straight into a beautiful death. Does manage to get him and tries to flush him out, but he gets caught out by Pin in the back there. And FaZe Clan in all sorts of trouble. The Diamonds are smashing everyone.
Man advantage. That's all it is. They can hold point.
They've got them back on the feet. Fuzzy's back. 80's getting Mexi back. How do they keep reviving? 1 nade will finish them off. That molly from Senpai could be big.
If that hits the middle, it's just going to burn.
Oh, it's too far.
into oblivion. Now he's lost his helmet, though, because I think that's even Mex's second knock, or at least definitely a headshot from it. This is good from Digital Athletics to keep watching this one, because they're picking up all individual points. ENCE goes down as well. And now they're just going to lay down the hammer. Here comes the Death Squad. They charge on through, and FaZe Clan is down and dead.
Look at that kill feed. 2-2-2-2-2. They've dealt with G2 and FaZe Clan at the same time. Red Diamonds, we know they can go off when they're in the position, when it works out for them. If there's a standing fight, they will go for it. The Jokers, by the way, they've took full control of the circle while this has been happening. Look at that spread from the Jokers.
Could this be the win?
Could it be their first ever win?
3 of them standing point, 1 of them in the back. So I mean, they can control this, right? They've pushed 3 up now. They have complete circle dominance. And then you've got Kemba. So it's a 4-man stack here, but they need to get on top of the Red Diamonds. If they want this win, they have to hit them. They have to hit them now, but they have to get together as a team. They're so spread. If the Red Diamonds goes after individual players, they will completely throw this game.
The Diamonds are going for Digital Athletics, I think. Look at Pin. Pin's on the move already. He's going around to try and find them. They see Senya down low. Senya, by the way, we haven't really talked massively about Senya, but he is one of the highest damage dealers in the entire game. He's way up there, but doesn't maybe get the kills confirmed as much as possible, which is why we're not seeing him in the top kill feed as much. Red Diamonds, though, 9 kills and counting. This could be a massive game for them. We've been talking about, you know, the chase, the race for the top 4, but that middle of the pack, it just keeps condensing. Look at Kemba on the hill, on top of the roof. I love the aggression of this player. I really actually like the playstyle of all the individuals of Jokers. This is surely their moment. Would it be an Erangel win as well? You'd put your money on Miramar for them, right?
With how much, I mean, we call them Rangers, and we see how many marksmen they've got.
Look,
time and time again, we see Kemba and Senya just doing so much damage, but it's how they're splitly is my big issue here. They've got 3 in the middle, okay, they are taking ground control, but Red Diamonds are a 4-man stack together. If they decide to turn on the Jokers individually, they will lose their battles.
Digital Athletics, by the way, have had a first and a second. Now in the top 4 again. What a day the Turks are having. This has been incredible for them. Nuki looks like he's going to go out here. Trying to bandage. That's not going to work at this phase 7 circle. No, that's going to be Nuki done and dusted. So now we're down to the top 3. Red Diamonds making the move down the hill.
This is interesting because Kemba is giving all the information. He's also tagging up a lot of individual players here.
Send you down, though. That's going to be Sampai calling him out. Going to try and make the push down. Aduzi trying to light up the tab. He's up close and personal, but he's a little too close, and the Red Diamonds are moving on force.
Again, 4-man stack just paying off dividends, but getting stabbed in the back here. Digital Athletics, it's time for them to strike. How much damage can they do to Red Diamonds? 10 kills on the board. And Hello Senpai, he's not done yet.
D-Mash has got to hold them at bay. The wave is coming. He manages to get... No, he's down straight away. And that surely gives the Diamonds their chance and their win. And the Jokers, it's all falling apart for them once again.
Playing split. It's just, they should have hit them. They should have gone as a unit. I'm sorry, but it comes down to an IGL problem. They should be making that call to stick together and move as a team. Especially when it's, you know, that's a good open area. Your backs aren't fully up against the edge of the circle, so you can really be shot from any angle. If you're up against the circle, at least you know where bullets are going to be coming from. And
it's Senpai's push. Senpai has caught all 3 of them off. Just
Kemba's now not doing anything.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
He's irrelevant now.
It was good at the time to give the information, but he overcommitted to that position. He should have been up with the rest of the boys getting stuck in.
Well, Sixmo's going to get Mert back at his feet, and wouldn't it be ironic if Jokers with 4 alive suddenly find themselves in 3rd place when they could have had themselves a win? It's looking like the Diamonds are going to come out on top. They have been dominant in this tree line. They've took down G2. They've took down FaZe Clan. They're taking down the Jokers, and they may well take down Digital Athletics as well. We should put TSM in there as well. They've taken TSM out as well. Wrecking balls.
They've just gone for it. This will be 10 points for the win and then all the points in the world for the kills. I mean, in fairness to them, we're saying it was Joker's game to lose. If they'd have got up close and personal and pushed them while they were hurt, then yes. But with the height advantage, with the topography of the map, they do have the line of sight, they do have the mid bit of information. That's a return fire, and Kemba actually might want to get involved in this one himself.
Kemba does, gets the kill, steals it away. That's a point. It's not going to be too many for them, unfortunately. They only actually got 3 kills in total. Somehow out of that, best luck will confirm Sixmo, and it leaves 2 solo players versus 3 Red Diamonds.
I thought he might be able to pick up this final. I mean, it would be a complete god play if he somehow managed to pull the 1 versus 3, but he needs to come out of the building. He might even deny the points just to just to play it that way. Yeah,
Yeah.
grenades coming out.
That's it. It's going to be Red Diamonds that will take themselves a victory here. It's their 3rd win of the game, as Jokers will confirm. But it's a decent kill count for the Red Diamonds and a big points haul. Digital Athletics as well, a 1st, 2nd, and a